Hello, I want to revisit this topic. Someone left a comment stating that convert Orthodox Christians can be overzealous, but I disagree with that. I think that people are using the Cradle Orthodox as the standard by which they measure converts. Okay, but basically, Cradle are spiritually dead and indifferent. You shouldn't use them as your standard. A person is overzealous if they climb a pillar and want to imitate Saint Simeon the Stylite when they're specifically given in obedience by their spiritual father not to. That would be overzealous. But how many convert Orthodox Christians are doing that? So I don't think the converts are overzealous. I think they're behaving like normal Orthodox Christians should. So I don't think much of these Cradle Orthodox Christians, I see them as spiritually dead, indifferent. They have no zeal. The church is just a social club to them. You know, the Greeks just want their Greek dance festivals. You know, the Russians want their vodka. And these are social clubs. And these spiritually dead, indifferent people are the reason why, I would argue, the reason why heresy, ecumenism, and modernism exists in contemporary Orthodoxy, because they're not doing enough to combat it. They don't care what their bishops believe. They don't care what their bishops do. They don't care if their bishops violate canons. Okay? A healthy church that is holy would never, ever tolerate someone like Archbishop Elpidophoros. Okay, this man needs to be thrown out. He doesn't profess the Orthodox faith. And you know, one time I attended a Pascha service in the RTOC, Old Calendarist, Russian True Orthodox Church, back when I was an Old Calendarist. And people were staring at me like I was glowing green. You know, I went into their warehouse or whatever it was, and they were staring at me like I was glowing green. And I got this sense like, I am not supposed to be here. I'm disrupting their Russian social club. And I'm thinking that probably these people were mostly Cradle. I don't have proof of that, but their energy was Cradle. You know, they don't want you in their parishes if you're not Russian. Same with the Greeks. They don't want you there if you're not Greek. These people lack Christian love and they lack missionary zeal. I don't think much of them. Okay? And for the first time in my Orthodox experience at that RTOC parish, when the time came for candles to be distributed, no one brought me a candle. No one brought me a candle. See, I was not welcome there. They did not want me there, and I'm thinking that these were probably mostly Cradle people. I don't have proof of that. This is speculation. However, the priest was warm and kind. I admit that. Okay? So, I really believe that these so-called Cradle Orthodox Christians are a big danger to contemporary Orthodoxy because they don't care about the faith. See, Greeks just want a Greek bishop, Russians want a Russian bishop. This is my opinion, and I think Cradle people used to be better, but the world has changed. And I think Orthodoxy is being infiltrated by people who are trying to reinvent church teaching. The globalists cannot have their New World Order as long as the Orthodox Church exists, so I think they are sending infiltrators, wolves in sheep's clothing. Now, I do want to clarify that my experience of Cradle Orthodox Christians is limited to America. I don't know what Cradle Orthodox Christians are like in other countries. And I do think that there are good Cradle Orthodox Christians in America. So I wanted to clarify that, and I will go ahead and conclude this video.